In this first step series, we will provide you an overview of how to load models, navigate the interface, and demonstrate a few of the basic features within Express. The intent of this series is to give a general overview of how diagnostic designs are accessed, represented, and explored within Express. In this first video, Exploring Models 1, we will show how to load a model and identify some of the key elements within an example model. Once we load Express, this is how it will typically be displayed on the screen. The interface is very similar to any other typical Windows-based products that provide you with the menu bar on the top and a navigation tree on the left. Our first step is to load a model. To do this, we will go to the pull-down menu area across the top. Then go to the File menu, click on that and select Open. When we click Open, we are able to select any design already saved and listed in the Express Program Data Directory. Here you will need to navigate from the DSI International Directory, which is where the Express software is installed, into the Express folder, and then into the Designs folder. Since we are going to review examples in this video, we need to open the Examples folder, where we can identify the complementary examples typically packaged with the Express software installation. These examples are provided to offer additional guidance and future reference. For this video, we are now going to select the multiplexer. We open the multiplexer folder and we will open the 1.0 modulator file. This is the top level model. In some cases, you will need to use the Global View button at the top to view the model once it's open. Sometimes when we open a model, it may be off to the side or it may have been minimized in a previously saved version. By clicking on this button, it adjusts the size and places the model into the design sheet area, which is what we're able to see right now. Our example model consists of a block diagram of an electronic circuit. Although we are looking at an electronic circuit in our example model, Express models are domain independent, which means we can create models that represent electronics as we see in this example, as well as hydraulics, electromechanical, mechanical, or any other type of domain or hybrid that you wish to model. We are not limited to strictly electronic models. With our example model in front of us, let's quickly identify some of the elements and terminology. The geometric shapes we have shown on the screen within this model, the squares, triangles, circles, etc., are all commonly referred to as objects within Express. The objects are connected together with nets. These nets establish and represent the causal flow of data, signals, or information between the objects. Often, the flow of information in a design is represented on any of these nets at any time during the creating or review of the design model. When clicking on a net, notice the tabs on the panel below are activated, providing us with the details and attributes of that net at any time. When we click on an object, the panels at the bottom switch to display more information and details about the selected object. We also immediately notice that ports and port names appear. To better read the details on the object, we're going to zoom in. Now there are a couple different ways to do this. On the toolbar across the top, you'll find the typical plus and minus magnifying glass icons. We can click on these icons at any time to zoom in or zoom out. We can also zoom in by simply clicking and dragging a box around a specific area that we wish to select. And we'll get a pop-up menu, and then we'll just simply select Zoom Area. As you can see here, we have now zoomed in to better see the object details so we can easily identify the ports and port names on that object. These ports are used to represent the input points, signals, and functions to that object using the green color, while the red color ports represent the outputs from that object. When we are zoomed in, we can more clearly see the names of the ports on the objects in the design window. To observe the flow of information or signals through these objects, we will want to look at the information more closely on the panels below the design window. This context-sensitive panel will change depending upon what is selected. For example, we can click on the Output port and then the Output Functions tab at the bottom to provide us with the flow of information through the selected object. We can look at the output functions where we can determine that the output port is dependent upon the three inputs, in this case the channel select, ground, and raw video. Inside the object, we can descend down to any level of hierarchy and observe how lower level output functions are represented. In this regard, a causal database is being established internally that is quietly managing all of the interdependencies within the model design. Effectively, while not visually apparent, this background activity behaves in a manner that is much more sophisticated than a simple drawing that we would typically see in a Visio or PowerPoint representation. It's actually establishing relationships between functions, objects, and the nets that carry those functions from one object to another. Please view other videos in this Exploring Models series for an introduction to the Express GUI and basic operations to enrich your experience with DSI International's flagship product, Express.